Tonight on Evening, go glamping Twilight style.
So this is the Twilight Dome.
And meet the woman who quit corporate life to build this dream campground, where you can find a taste of London and Bellingham.
Cheers.
Yes.
And meet the local athletes competing in the World Dragon Boat Championships.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jose Cedeño, coming to you from La Loba, a brand new restaurant here at One Hotel Seattle. I talked to the chef, Oscar Amador, about this place. Tell me a little bit about La Loba. What is La Loba?
La Loba is a Spanish restaurant with a lot of influence from Barcelona, a restaurant with a lot of energy, very unique.
For somebody that probably hasn't even tried Spanish food, what would you describe as Spanish food?
Spanish food is very simple. The ingredients is the most important. Here we try to twist it a little bit, try to use the best ingredients we can find, right?
A modern take on Barcelona cuisine, blend with influences of Japan, the Mediterranean, and beyond.
If you can only pick one, what would you pick?
One dish?
Yeah, only one.
That's hard.
Let's just say he likes everything from the menu. Also, we cannot forget that La Loba has great cocktails and special drinks.
So it sounds more than just a restaurant. It sounds more like people come here for experience.
Nowadays, it's not just serving food, it's just connect with people, and then we try to make that happen.
Thank you, Chef. La Loba opens Tuesday through Saturdays from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now let's go to Forks over the Olympic Peninsula because there's a campground that is doing pretty well with Twilight fans and campers. Let's check it out.
In a mossy forest in the middle of Twilight country, you'll find one woman's solution to the 9-to-5 grind.
I was an elementary school teacher and I just got really burnt out. And I was trying to think of what else I could do. And at one point it just came to me, maybe a campground owner.
Roxanne Siperi quit her teaching job, bought 12 acres in Forks, and built Wandering Woodlands. There are 10 campsites here. 2 of the most popular ones are domes.
I feel like the domes are super unique and they're super cozy when you're inside.
One has a swinging bed and the other an homage to those famous Forks vampires.
So this is the Twilight Dome. One of my favorite little Easter eggs to find is the little bonsai tree has a little Edward and a little Bella to play out that kind of spider monkey scene. I definitely wanted to have lots of little Easter eggs, little nods to Twilight that you have to find, and if you're a big fan, you'll be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Even the outhouse has a Twilight touch, but there's much more to Wandering Woodlands, like miles of trails.
So you gotta wander around a rainforest. Where else do you get to do that in America?
And a communal area with games and a big fire pit.
I really wanted it to be a place where people can connect and come together.
Nearly 18,000 fans follow Roxanne's story on Instagram, and by building this getaway, this former teacher also has built a place where she can finally
just relax and finally have kind of calmness in my life instead of feeling like I'm just rushing from one thing to another.
This woman, who built herself a new job with a chainsaw, has this advice for anyone who wants to quit their 9-to-5 and start living their dream.
It's doable. It's not rocket science. It's a lot of hard work. Quitting your job is a really scary thing, but it felt really worth it because what I've started and what I've created is something that I'm so proud of.
Okay, the dome starts at $200 and the regular tent starts at $35. And of course, you can make reservations on Airbnb. Now, Dragon Boat Racing is one of the oldest sports in history. It goes back to over 2,000 years. It's a sport that doesn't discriminate against age. Here's King 5, Ariel.
All boats, we have alignment. Attention, go! 1, 2,
3. It's the group spirit as you're moving the boat and pushing towards a goal that you all have in mind. It's very empowering. It's almost a spiritual experience on the water.
Use your legs! Use your legs!
It's the ultimate team sport, and one with 2,000 years of history. Dragon boat racing requires full synchronization between all paddlers.
No matter how bad you hurt or how tired you are watching 18 or 19 other people around you that are pushing hard, and you have to stay in sync.
It's also an equalizer. Athletes of all ages have opportunities to be competitive in the sport, oftentimes in the same boat.
And when on our local team, we have quite a few people who are mature adults, and it's inspiring to me. You know, even though I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life, these people just keep me going, and it gives me confidence that I can keep doing this for another 10, 20 years.
All boats, 100%! Push!
And there are people that are paddling that are older that can be faster than the younger people. I mean, it's just an incredible sport that allows a variety of ages.
The Gig Harbor Dragons are even represented at the national level. Lucy Evans is competing in her first competition in the 40s plus senior A class. Elisa Roberts and Adrian Jones are representing the master's class of senior C, or adults over 60.
I know what it takes to kind of get to the elite level.
That's an understatement. Jones was an Olympic rower in the boycotted 1980 Games. That competitive spirit inspired him to take on the sport of dragon boat racing later in life.
My mindset when I decided to try out for the national team was, even if I don't make the team, I'll be in the best shape of my adult life. So I had nothing to lose.
He made the national team in 2020, which was later canceled for COVID, and in 2023, when his team podiumed at the World Championships in all 8 races, but lost 6 gold medals in less than a second. Jones won't rest until a gold comes home to Gig Harbor.
It's just so humbling to be representing the USA on a world stage. And I've pushed myself harder than ever the last 2 years. I'm not getting any younger, so I have to push harder, smarter, so I can take that second away. If I have to do it all on my own, I'm going to do it.
With the Gig Harbor Dragons, Ariel Orsuto, King 5 Sports.
Thank you, Ariel. Jones and his team are going to be competing in the 17 World Dragon Boat Racing Championships. Wow, that's going to be next month in Germany. We'll be right back.
Up next, experience a taste of London at this new Bellingham dessert stop. And the Seattle Micro Perfumery, making sense that evoke classic books.
Wow!
Local stories make a difference.
I want to check that out.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome back to the show from La Loba Spanish Restaurant. And as you can see, I got great food in front of me. That's why I have my friend here, Santiago, to explain me what we have going on. So let's talk about this guy first. That's the green tartare.
So here we have our green tartare. It's made with seasonal summer squash, an avocado mousse, pistachio vinaigrettes, crispy rice crackers over the top, and a little bit of furikake.
That sounds good already, but this one looks very artistic. This is the scallops crudo.
Perfect. So here we have our Peruvian scallops on the half shell with a coconut-based tomca sauce, candied lime, and a little bit of garnish for jalapeno and some olive oil.
Ooh, that sounds a little spicy though.
It's
all right,
great.
But let's talk about this one. This is the octopus al olivo.
Yes, so these are sous vide octopus, lightly charred with a olives alioli as a base sauce. We have some avocado, some corn fritters, pickled onions, and a lightly charred spring onion.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go with this one.
It's an excellent choice.
Okay, from Spanish food, let's talk British sweets, okay? And don't worry, you don't have to fly all the way to London just to get this. You only have to drive to Bellingham. Have you ever tried bubble waffles?
Not yet.
Now you can.
Step inside Love from London and you're immediately met by a life-sized London guard, a red telephone box, and a mural of the city with a working clock on the Tower of London.
The clock is on London time.
There's also something else you'll notice, one of the most delicious smells known to mankind, bubble waffles in production.
What do you think of it?
Oh, it's amazing.
The shop is inspired by a 6-week vacation Ryan Frydenberg and his son Theo took to Scotland and London, where they fell in love with bubble waffles, which first made a splash decades ago in Hong Kong.
We actually had it in Chinatown in London, and basically use a certain kind of griddle to be able to cook this bubble waffle. It's a little bit different batter, different texture.
And I thought this would be a great thing to share with Bellingham for people to enjoy.
That's really good.
Executive chef Casey Shire, who came up with the recipes, says bubble waffles are just plain fun.
And you can just kind of eat a bite of ice cream and you eat a bubble at a time, and a bite in a bubble is what I like to say.
One of the top sellers is the Berry Brawley.
It's a vanilla-based bubble waffle, white raspberry chocolate ice cream. We put fresh raspberries, fresh strawberries in, and Oreo.
There's a drizzle of chocolate syrup, followed by a blizzard of powdered sugar.
It's my birthday weekend, and this is my special treat, even though I'm on a diet.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Another favorite is the British Bonfire.
It's kind of more of a campfire bubble waffle. We use vanilla ice cream, marshmallows, graham cracker, and an Aero chocolate bar. And we put that all together with some toppings, some sauces. People just seem to love it.
And this one's called the Brick Kit.
It's got a little bit of everything with chocolate, candy, Oreos, and this delicious looking cone.
There are 20 different kinds of British candies for sale, and 20 different kinds of traditional British beverages. The shop also offers thick milkshakes and vegan options.
Here we are.
A vacation that became inspiration for one of Bellingham's most visited sweet shops.
Love from London.
Yum! Love from London opens Wednesdays through Sundays. Now, a good book can enhance your senses. You can feel like you're out in a landscape. You can also feel like you almost taste the flavors of food. But have you ever wanted to smell like your favorite character? Book character, that is? Now you can.
This is what I do all day.
Jen Seam's work is solitary, but she's never really alone. She's surrounded by people from the past.
My company is called Immortal Perfumes, and I specialize in literary and historical fragrances. I like to think about what would Marie Antoinette have worn? What would the characters from The Great Gatsby wear? Yes, in case you couldn't tell, I was an English major.
She coupled her love of literature with a lifelong affinity for fragrance.
My mom wore the original Poison by Dior, and I remember I used to sneak into her bathroom so that I could spritz it on myself. And I mean, that wasn't very sneaky because Poison was a loud perfume. And then one day I just thought, hey, maybe I'll try making some myself.
Bibliophiles are glad she did. Jen's created scents inspired by Hemingway and Mary Shelley, F. Scott Fitzgerald and his wife Zelda. This horror novel inspired one of her best sellers.
She is based on a vampire that predates Dracula by 30 years.
There's also a line called Literary Lovers, meant to be worn together, like Emily Bronte's Tragic Pair. And her most famous perfume has the most memorable name.
Dead Writers smells like old books.
Jen spends weeks of experimentation to find the right blend of ingredients.
You have to just kind of go on the journey. You have to add things, you have to take them out, and then somewhere in there's that alchemy, that magic, and then you're just like, yes, this is the one.
The internet loves her selection, and it also loves Jen because of her own story, one she decided to share after being diagnosed with breast cancer.
I was 35 when I was diagnosed, and so it was really important to me to be honest with them. Working through cancer treatment helped me so much. I had no idea the opportunities that I would have, and now that I do have a platform, the idea that I get to help people, if I can help even one person, then that makes all of it worth it for me.
She's now cancer-free, and with every bottle she ships, Jen shares her gratitude.
On old book paper, I like to write, thank you.
One day, she hopes to write her own book, too. For now, Immortal Perfumes pays tribute to the classics, worth reading and wearing.
Exactly, yeah. Choose your own adventure.
Thank you, Kelly. You can shop Immortal perfumes online. We're gonna have a link on our website, king5evening.com. We'll be right back.
Up next, a Seattle entrepreneur makes herself doggone useful.
Dogs are therapeutic. They're gentle. They have kind souls. These guys are just my friends.
And later, Evening's Guide to the Seattle Pride Parade.
I am Tarika Waters, and welcome to my exhibition here at the Seattle Art Museum, Venus is Missing. Proceed with caution. This has to do with a particular time in my youth. I was figuring out my voice. Like Mr. Rogers told us, we do have our imagination. We do come from a place of play, and I heavily tap into those elements.
Welcome back to the show from La Loba Spanish restaurant here at One Seattle Hotel. And look at this. This is a dessert, but pretty much looks like art. That's a deconstructed key lime pie. Our next story was suggested by a viewer. First, it sounded easy, but it was a lot of walking to do. I visited a dog walker in Ballard that started her business to spend more time with her kids.
Hey, my friends, let's go. I am Autumn Hale. I'm owner of Positive Dog Adventures. Come on. I can't remember a day that I haven't had a dog in my life. Let's go, my friends. Every day I pick these guys up. Then we go either to a backyard and play for 2 hours, or we do a social walk setting like this. Every dog has a different personality. I do my best to provide for them. Whose leash is anchoring this time? I think I have a special connection. I can't really explain what that is.
The first thing I noticed that you have to have a lot of patience.
Because it's not that simple to keep a big group of lovely four-legged friends entertained for hours.
How many dogs do we have today?
We actually have 12 today. I kind of overbooked myself.
With this amount of dogs, I was having a hard time just remembering their names.
Penny, Frankie, Fozzie.
Good thing that someone is keeping track.
It's definitely a workout.
Ready for your pictures?
Oh yes, I forgot to mention that this afternoon power walk comes with a photo shoot. And for that, we're going to need some tools.
So this squeaker is specifically a distraction. There we go, guys. Good job. I take pictures to update the families. They can see that their dog is having fun. I do have a unique job. I started this business in 2011, and most of my friends told me that I'm never gonna make it.
A business that she started as a single mom.
Part of the decision was spending more time with my kids because my son was sick all the time growing up. I started walking dogs so that he can be with me. Then when my daughter came along, she was in my little backpack walking dogs with me.
What started as compassion and care for dogs became a business that brings joy.
Dogs are therapeutic. They're gentle. They have kind souls. These guys are just my friends.
That was a fun story. If you want to learn more about Positive, you guys get it? Positive Dog Adventures, we're going to have info on our website, king5evening.com. And with that, I'm going to enjoy a bite of this.
Up next, our guide to the Seattle Pride Parade. Now in our 39th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Thanks to support from PEMCO Insurance. PEMCO empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at PEMCO.com.
Hey, this is Saint getting some northern exposure in Roslyn. Our show is all about celebrating the people and places around the Northwest, and we're always looking for new stories. If you've got some, send them our way through email at eveningtips@king5.com or through any of our social media channels.
Welcome back to the show. This weekend on Sunday, thousands of people are going to be walking in downtown Seattle to celebrate Pride. Over 300,000 are expected to gather at Seattle's annual Pride Parade. This festive and colorful event goes along 4th Avenue in downtown Seattle. There will be a pre-show entertainment at Westlake Park, starting at 10 a.m. The parade begins at 11 a.m. Be sure to say hi to the King 5 crew. I will be there, showing support to our LGBTQ+ neighbors. Ooh, look how cool this wall is. That does it for me, but I do want to say thank you to La Loba for hosting us. Trust me, the food here is great, so you should come and check it out. See you guys till next time. Ciao.